Hey, what's up YouTube? This is Valoo here with my Gravekeeper's deck. This is post-regionals. I've not had the chance to really make any changes yet, but this is the deck that I took to regionals. I went 6-3 for the day. Didn't get my invite, but I got 54th and top 48. Or no, I got 58th. And top 48 got their invites, so let's go over the deck real quick.
And by the way, there was 327 people there entering the tourney, so big turnout. Alright,
so for monsters, we've got a triple descendant. You've got to do through this guy. This guy is what gives the deck its destructive power. I mean, that's how you blow up all their threats and all their back rows and anything. So yeah, 3 of them for sure, as well as 3 recruiter. Really awesome. Set them, they attack into them. If you don't have Necro Valley out, they destroy them. You get your commandant, you discard him for Necro Valley, or you pop him with descendant, you bring him out with spy, and then pop him with descendant. There's so many plays, and it's how the deck gets by. It's part of how the deck gets by with running such a low monster count, as well as spy. Spy was really good for me all day. I was fortunate enough to never have it get nobleman. They always fell for like set assailant or set recruiter, and they would always nobleman that, so it never failed me in that sense. And it just a great card. 2500 defense with Necro Valley out. It gets you anything you need, mostly those 2. Commandant, really awesome card. Discard it, get your Necro Valley. If you open with 2 of them, discard both, and then stell it back to your hand, and you get a huge, like, I don't know, you set yourself up for pretty much close to the rest of the game with 2 Necro Valleys. They're gonna feel the pressure that if they destroy it, they're going to have a play that turn. Otherwise, you're just going to get up the second one. So it's really good in that sense. Assailant, you got to run it just to get over any bigger offensive threats. 2 is fine because it's so easily searchable. Really good card. Attack into a face-up monster, switch another one to defense or face-up, whatever you need to get over it, because basically all your monsters have under 21 attack, so anything that's bigger than that, this is what deals with it. Then on to spells, we've got 3 Royal Tribute. Everybody fears this card. Everybody fears this card first turn, and so many times would I play Necro Valley and like people would just have that look on their face of like, oh shit. And even though it wasn't always followed with Royal Tribute, I think I got it off first turn like 2 or 3 times on the day. But just amazing card. And not only does it discard all their monsters, but you get to see the rest of their hand, which is big, because if they're holding on to cards, they're not wanting to set their back rows because they don't want you to get rid of it with Descendant. You get to see it anyway, and usually you manipulate yourself enough so you'll reveal like 1 card in your hand, and it's nothing for them to be afraid of. And then we move on to Pot of Duality. Another reason why the deck gets away with so few monsters is because this card reveals the top 3, and then you just pick whatever you need. Like, if you don't do a monster, obviously you go for something else. If you need Necro Valley or Commandant to get your Necro Valley, and you don't open with it, and you open with a Pot of Duality, it really, like, allows you to get what you need. And I wouldn't think of any less than 3, because it honestly never bothered me with Spy's effect. And speaking of Spy, we've also got 3 Book of Moon. Not just for your Spy, although it's really awesome when you've got a face-up attack. They try to attack into it, you book your Spy, they ram into its defense, they can't get over it, plus you get your monster. Or anything big that you need to stop immediately. They get out their tuner or something to try and sink, you book it, and then attack over it next turn. Necro Valley at 2. There was only one instance in which I wished I had a 3rd, game 1, because I sided the 3rd. But it was fine for me at 2. I never had a problem, just that one instance, and even then it was like, I still probably was not very likely to win. He was pretty much in control of that entire game. So then we'll move on to Stell. I run this at 2. It also, like, just really big in this deck, because you go through your monsters, you go through your recruiters and commandants like they're nothing. So Stell just adds them back to your hand. You top decking this is better than top decking a monster, like mid game, but pretty much after like turn 3 for you, you top deck that and you're pretty happy. Allure, just for more draw power, and Dark Hole. And then on to the trap lineup. Trap lineup's pretty staple. We've got the double bottomless, the double warning, the double deprison. I liked running 2 compulsory. Compulsory for me was really awesome because they think they're going for their big play. You compulse their monster back to their hand, and then they're still pretty happy because, I mean, you didn't destroy it, so it's back in the hand, and they'll think they just go off next turn, and then you roll tribute, and then you just got rid of that monster. So, and not only that, but it stops synchros. You can play it immediately, unlike deprison. Deprison, they've got to attack. Compulsory, the first time you see it, you just pop it back. I'm pretty sure I used it against Hyunlei, which I was glad it was compulsory and not deprison, because they would have destroyed deprison. And then we've also got Mirror Force, Solemn Judgment, and Starlight Road. I only ran 1. After going through the tournament, I'm glad I only ran 1, because I never got to use it at all. Like, almost always, when they were going to go for their big destructive play, they played Trunade first, or on occasion it was Cold Wave. So I never really got to do Starlight. I never even sided the second one in. But we'll go through the side deck. We've got 2 Malefic, Star Dragon. I never really sided this in, because I never felt the need to. I mean, basically this deck's sitting pretty tight, so you don't want to change too much or you really mess with the consistency, but it's a pretty good card. Like I said, I never really got a chance to play it or side it in, because a lot of times they would Trunade, and then obviously if they Trunade your Necro Valley, then yeah, he's no good. 2 Cyber Dragons. I never got a chance to play. Well, I did play against a machine deck, and I sided it in for that. It was a really weird machine deck, but I also sided this in against the mirror match. I played against one Gravekeeper deck all day, and yeah, it's pretty good for that, because as you could see, there was a lot of stopping power with the trap lineup, and they pretty much have to stop it because their commandant can only tie it, and their assailant. So the assailant is the only thing that can really get rid of it. I also did 2 Snowman Eater. I really liked this card. I used it against Blackwing. They would attack into it, thinking it was like Recruiter or something, or they would not attack it because they were afraid it was Spy or Recruiter, and then next turn I just used it to get rid of their stuff. Just a really great card. What else did I side in against? Oh, another thing. A lot of times, they also seem to think that this was a face-down Spy, so they would Nobleman it. I actually got somebody to Nobleman my Snowman Eater, so I was pretty happy with that.
Did you side it in against Blackwings?
Yes. 2 MST. I never got a chance to play like a Decree deck or something with really annoying like back row that I felt the need to side it in against. So I never really got to play it, but I did have it. The 3rd Necro Valley, just usually game 2 or 3, if they had any kind of like outs to Necro Valley, I would immediately go for the 3rd one, which usually they did. I also did 2 Chain Disappearance. For Infernities, I never got to play, and for big against Plant Synchro, because like 90% of their monsters are under 1,000, so they go to do Debris, and you Chain Disappearance, and they are very much screwed. I sided it in. I only played 1 Plant Synchro deck the entire day. I sided it in, but didn't see it.